Welcome to Pieguy Pick'em. We are back. It is AFC East show, so the Dolphins jersey is back. It is season 2. We have some new streaming tools at our disposal here, so bear with me if there's some early issues. Kowboy Keith will be joining us in about 10 minutes or so as we get started to break down each and every NFL team over the next 4 weeks here on Pieguy Pick'em. About halfway through the show, we'll go through the schedule for the show in the month of August as we prepare for the start of the NFL, which will be beginning, I believe it's September 4th, I believe, is the Lions, not the Lions, that was last year. The Eagles and the Cowboys, who we will be talking about here today. These preview shows will go through sort of the odds for the division, the win totals. We'll make a few bets, but mostly we will be talking, go through the schedule, we'll see what do we think about these teams, what do we like, what do we not like, what are our expectations, what is the market expectations, and then sort of maybe see where we can find value in either a futures bet or just betting each team week to week. I am not the biggest future bettor in the world. I prefer sort of the week to week spots. I will bet futures mid-season, and I've been much better at mid-season futures than preseason futures. If you watch Rants, Roman Rouges, you will know what I'm talking about. The mid-season futures have been a lot better than the preseason ones so far in the CFL season, and I think I've hit at least one big mid-season future the past couple of NFL seasons. So without further ado, as Cowboy Keith gets ready to join us here in a few minutes, we will start with the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles were the best team in football. Definitely the best team in the NFC last year. Whether or not obviously the Chiefs made the finals, they were not power rated at the top of my power rankings. They were below Baltimore, Buffalo, and on mine as well as many other people's power rankings. But in terms of the best team in the league last year, the Eagles were definitely in the top 3. If not the best. I think they were deserving Super Bowl champions. Obviously, the show had the Eagles as one of the best bets for the Super Bowl in the first half, plus 100 on the first half money line. Now, last season we talked a little bit. The preseason show wasn't as in depth as this time. We're going to go 8 teams at a time instead of doing all 32 in one show. But we did touch on how the Eagles aren't very deep at certain positions. I spelled Eagles wrong, or Philadelphia wrong. What an idiot. We're making change up, but I caught it, so we'll switch that. There we go. There's the L. But so wide receiver depth has been talked about for years and years with this Eagles team. And still, Smith, Brown, and who else? This guy flashed in the preseason last night. The Eagles have played one preseason game last night against the Bengals. This guy had 83 yards and a touchdown. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, so I'm just going to take a quick peek. And who was? Of course, no data available. Well, we'll take a look at it. But anyways, maybe he will be the third wide receiver. Jahan Dotson, they got him from the Commanders. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. But the concern with the Eagles has been that their top end is great. Everybody stays healthy. This team, Jalen Hurts is a top 10, if not, I would say top 10, maybe close to the top 5 quarterback. You have your 2 big receivers. Obviously, you have Barkley. Barkley was the big offseason addition last year, and boy, was he ever worth the money, making the other team in the division look quite stupid getting rid of him after they drafted him 2nd overall a few years ago, the New York Giants, of course. But, the offensive line, the top offensive line lead has been for a while. You have, of course, Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson, and it looks like Tyler Steen will be at right guard. Last year, it was, I believe, Mekhi Becton at right guard. So, some change, one change on the O-line, but, the stalwarts are there going into this season. Tight end Dallas Goedert is still there. He's been very good. I kind of like their tight end depth. Grant Calcaterra, we hit a couple of props with him last season. They picked up Harrison Bryant, who, was a pretty good prospect, but he got kind of buried in the Browns depth chart. Kylan Granson, I think, is depth, like pure depth. Kenneth Gainwell was he in Pittsburgh? I can't remember where he is, but he is gone. So Will Shipley will be the number 2 running back. He is in Pittsburgh. So the offense is still going to be good, as long as the offensive line stays healthy. Oh, they also have a fullback. Ben Van Sumeren is listed as a fullback on their depth chart. I don't know if he's going to be great, or if they're going to use him very much. We have pretty good offensive line, but it's another weapon to add to the run game, the pass game. You're having a fullback. The defense, of course, was the big surprise last year. The big addition on the defensive side, with Barkley being the offensive one, was Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, who absolutely cooked. This was the best defense in the league last year. I don't think that. Denver, okay, the top 2. Denver was also very, very good. Obviously, Patrick Surtain winning Defensive Player of the Year. We'll talk about him next week on Pie Guys Pick'em. But the defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, showed that he still has his fastball. Zach Bond is re-signed, so they get to hold on to him. He was very good at the inside linebacker position. Jalen Carter, of course, I think it was his second year last year. You have the Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown, the safeties, the veterans, and of course Cooper DeJean, who had great plays in the playoffs, and Quinion Mitchell, who was also solid at cornerback. So this is just, it's a solid team, like I said, at the ones. There are some injury concerns early in camp. A.J. Brown has a hamstring. And, somebody else has. Who else? N'Kobe Dean, another linebacker. He has some issues going on. Obviously, you don't expect the offensive line to play too much preseason, especially with the age of the offensive line. This team is minus 140 to win the division. It's actually come down. I think it was minus 150 to minus 170 earlier in the preseason, but it's come down to minus 140. Their win total is 11.5. It's a little bit high. We'll take a look here at their schedule. And here is the Philadelphia Eagles schedule. You have, week 1. Let me just get rid of the Philadelphia Eagles thing there. Week 1. Dallas at home, the banner raising game. Now, these banner raising games can be tricky, but they're 7-point favorites in that game at KC. But KC's coming off the international game week 1, so it's not exactly the best spot for the Chiefs, and they mollywopped the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But, you expect some fight back, what's the word? I can't think of, but some urgency from the Chiefs, trying to avenge the Super Bowl in terms of the Super Bowl loss last year, which was pretty bad. I mean, it was pretty much a blowout early. The Rams at home, the Rams are a tough team. Stafford, with the injury concerns with Stafford. The Buccaneers always giving the Eagles trouble. The Buccaneers. Then you get Denver at home. The first 5 games. I mean, there's no cakewalk. I mean, okay, Dallas is your 7-point favorites, but I mean, it's a divisional game. Dallas, and it is in Philadelphia, so that's probably a win. But the next 4, I mean, there's no guaranteed wins in either of those 4. So the first 5 games, they're kind of tough, and then you go, Giants. Okay, there's your Thursday night. It's Thursday night on the road, though, but I mean, it's the Giants. We'll talk about them in a minute here. Minnesota, we're not sure but Minnesota's coming off the bye. And we're not sure what McCarthy's going to be, but that roster's loaded in terms of talent. especially in the offensive side. Of course, we know Brian Flores is there. The Giants again, okay, a win. But then your bye week. Then you get the Packers on Monday Night Football at Green Bay. Another tough game. Detroit at home. That the game we never got to see last year that we're going to get to see this year. The Eagles will play Detroit in Philly. Of course, last year, if they were to have played in the playoffs, it would have been again. It would have been in Detroit because Detroit was the 1 seed. Take a sip here. And then you go at Dallas. Dallas in a tough spot there. Dallas is on 6-day rest, and then they have Thanksgiving the week after. So that's probably a pretty easy win there for the Eagles. The Bears, Black Friday. The Bears, I'm going to save the Bears talk for the North. It's a winnable game for sure. The Eagles will be favoring at home. Should win that one. At Chargers, not the easiest game in the world, but, the Chargers don't really have home field edge at all. Then you go Raiders at home. That's a win. At Washington. At Bills versus Washington end of the season. 3 tough games. If Washington's any good, which they're expected to be at least somewhat good. They made the playoffs last year. They made the NFC title game last year. After and it was the NFC title was like their 4th or 5th straight road game, so they didn't really have much help. So, this schedule is very, very tough. I don't see 11.5 wins here. There are definitely, the games against Dallas you should win. The games against the Giants you should win. And the game against Chicago, Vegas at home, you should win that. Those games, and probably the Chargers. There's going to be more Eagles fans at SoFi. Let's be real. So you have a handful of games you should win. A couple surefires, but the rest of them, it's all tough opponents. The NFC North, is the toughest division in football, and your division. Yeah, Washington, you play them at the end of the year, and with a Buffalo game sandwiched in between. We'll talk about them. They have the highest win total in the NFL. And look who's here, the Cowboy himself, Kowboy Keith. Keith, how are you?
Good. Did my little headline pop up?
Oh, sorry. I'm just going to... Oh, boy. Your headline? What headline?
Underneath my name.
Oh, it did. All right. Well, Keith, I was just talking Eagles. I was pretty much finishing up. What are your thoughts on the Philadelphia Eagles? I have the schedule in front of you if you would like to take a gander.
Well, I mean, they're the defending champs, so everyone's going to be gunning for them.
Yep. Their win total is 11.5. Do you have an opinion on that?
I don't think they're going to hit that.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of a tough schedule. The more I look at it, I mean, look at these at Bills, at KC. Okay, KC's off the international game. Bucks, Rams, Denver, back to back to back.
Just remember, for the Cowboys and the Giants playing the Eagles, it's probably going to be their Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, but you look at the Cowboys game. It's week 1, banner raising night. It's going to be loud in there. And then the Cowboys game week 12. Cowboys coming off Monday Night Football, and then they got Thanksgiving next week. So it's 2 really bad spots for the Cowboys. And I don't know about you, but I'm not expecting the Giants to beat anybody any good this year.
They seem to play their division tough. So.
All right. Well, okay. So Keith. Yeah, Keith likes the under. I like the under a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna. I might bet 11.5. It's a high win total, and I think regardless of the division race, that last game against Washington is probably going to mean something to Washington.
It also depends if Lamar or Barkley get hurt.
Lamar, you mean Hurts?
Hurts.
Yeah, don't be scaring people. We don't need Lamar Jackson on this team. All right, well, that is it for the Eagles. Let's move on to our friends that play in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the New York Football Giants, plus 3,000 to win the NFC East. Their win total 5.5. Of course, the big offseason addition, the dangerous man himself, Russell Wilson. They kept their coaching staff. I think they kept their GM too. But like you have a lame duck coaching staff. So what that means is that they're probably going to get fired at some point this year or after the year. But at the same time, they're not going to tank because they're lame duck head coaches. So, they're probably going to try to win. Outside of Russ, you have Neighbors. He's very good. Obviously, you kept your receivers, Robinson and Slayton. Tyrone Tracy's fine at running back. The offensive line is awful, and then your best lineman by a mile, Andrew Thomas. He's been dealing with injuries. Theo Johnson's a good tight end. Your defense is good in the front seven. You could probably get pressure, probably be able to stop the run, but the back, quarterbacks and safeties, the secondary is a bunch of replacement level guys, not very good players. The Giants look like they're in for it this year, Keith. What are your thoughts on the Giants?
They're negative thoughts.
Negative thoughts. Can you elaborate?
It's the Giants. Like, what else do I have to say? Like,
yeah, that's fair. Well, let's take a look at their schedule here. I have it here somewhere. How many wins do you see on this? At Washington, there's a couple of spots here. Like at the Saints, they're favored in that game. The only game they're favored in. You get Green Bay off a Monday night game. Maybe you can sneak it. Denver off an international game. You get the Chiefs off of playing the Eagles. Like there are spots here where I might bet the Giants to cover a bunch of points. You get Dallas. Oh no, sorry, Dallas off Thursday night. You get Dallas off the Christmas game, Week 18. I mean, I don't know what Dallas is going to be playing. For Dallas is a mess. We'll talk about them in a minute. How many potential wins do you see here, Keith?
Well, they play the Saints, so that's one.
It's in New Orleans, though. And it's, Week 5. Maybe Tyler Shook or Rattler or Jake Haney. Maybe they figure something out by then. That Saints one. See here's the problem. Like I said, with the Giants and these lame duck head coaches, they're until the coach is fired, he's going to try to win every week because he knows he's getting fired and he doesn't give a shit what draft pick the Giants get.
He's just going to throw everything at the wall and hope something sticks.
Yeah. So when the Giants are like 1-5 after week 6, and then they have to go to Denver. And Denver's off an international game. If Denver comes out flat as a pancake, the Giants might win that game and then screw their draft position. They go get killed by Philadelphia. San Francisco, Chicago probably beats them. Maybe they sneak one against Green Bay. That's a tricky spot there. But then late in the season, they could beat Vegas and Dallas and have 4 wins, 5 wins, and fuck their draft positioning. So, I think this team is, like you said, negative thoughts all around.
It's like they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly, they don't.
They have no plan.
No plan. They want to win. This isn't how you do it. Oh, we have a couple of comments here. There's 7 to 8 guaranteed wins. I think that's for the Eagles. And Bob Dice, of course, our friend Bob Dice, the coach of the Ottawa Redblacks. The Giants, it's going to be tough to get to 5.5. But like I said, I mean, I worry if they beat the Saints, say they steal one against Denver, and they, maybe they steal one against Green Bay, maybe they play a hurt quarterback, right? And they're at 4 wins going into Week 17. Well, Vegas might be tanking, and Dallas might not give a shit at that point in Week 18 after they play their Christmas game, right? So, and I worry that you get to 6 here. So I'm not touching this team with a 10-foot pole because Russell Wilson is probably going to throw some dimes to neighbors, and they're going to score, a couple touchdowns here and there, and I think they're going to win a couple of games here. And they always give the Redskins. They always give the Commanders trouble. So. And I really think, like, they've lost to Dallas like a million times in a row. I really think Week 18, if Dallas doesn't care and it's still Dable, they're going to go beat them. So it's a pass.
The win total seems low. Well, it seems high for them, but it seems doable.
Yeah. There are spots here. Like, there are favorable scheduling spots here. I want to play Denver off an international game with, a second-year quarterback and some guys who might be tired, especially the defensive line. Give Russell Wilson some time, and he can. I know Surtain's probably gonna be on neighbors, but maybe get some PI calls. All right, we'll move along to our third team here. This is in no particular. This is just the order that I found the most interesting is what I did here. The Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? They're a mess again. Their best player is holding out, or is he holding in? Whatever. He's not. He wants a new contract, and Jerry Jones is being Jerry Jones, and so he did this with Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott's a running back, whatever. He did this with Prescott. Okay, Prescott's a top 10, top 12 quarterback. But again, he's not, the best player in his position. Micah Parsons might be the best defensive player in the NFL. Like, you got to pay the guy. You got to make him happy.
He's a top 3 defensive guy.
Yeah, it's exactly for sure top 3. You have Garrett, you have him, and who's the other guy? Watt. I'm not a fan of Watt, but he's fine.
The only thing that Parsons has on him is that he's younger. So
yeah, Parsons. Well, so Watt. I find with Watt that he recovers a lot of fumbles, but he's more opportunistic than like his underlying metrics aren't as good. But the Cowboys are coming back. Dak Prescott is still here for what season is this for Dak? 8 seasons.
8 or 9.
8 or 9. They have Joe Milton backing him up. They snagged him from the Patriots. Do we see Joe Milton start a game this year, Keith?
Well, I mean, if he does start a game, that means something bad's happened to Dax. And that always seems to happen at least once a year.
Yeah, I think we see him start. I think we see him. So, the problem with Jerry is that he gets in love with these quarterbacks who aren't very good. The Cowboys finished last year. They finished. What did the Cowboys finish? 7-10. There they are on my list.
And the biggest thing with the Cowboys is thing with the Cowboys. It's a new coach.
Yeah. So Brian Schottenheimer is the new coach. I think he was promoted from within. I don't like the move. I was a McCarthy guy. I like Mike McCarthy. I think he was probably the right guy for the job because Jerry liked him. He was able to sort of keep Jerry appeased and let the football people do football things. You know what I mean? I thought getting rid of McCarthy was a mistake. But of course, last year was a disaster. And you kind of saw the disaster coming. And then, he's got he gets a lot of flack because every time he misses a challenge or there's a bad play, the camera turns to him and he's always got this stupid look on his face. But I just think that's how he looks. I think he just looks stupid. Do you have an opinion on the new coach?
Nope. I prefer McCarthy, but...
Sorry, what did you say?
I prefer McCarthy, so...
Yeah, exactly. I think McCarthy's fine. He's not, with Ben Johnson or Kevin Stefanski or Kevin O'Connell, but he was fine. New running backs. They got rid of Rico Dowdle. I don't know why. He was good. But they got Javonte Williams and our old friend Miles the Bum Sanders, who was an average running back behind the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line and an awful running back on the Panthers. So that's all I need to tell you about Miles Sanders. George Pickens comes over from Pittsburgh to go on the other side of Lamb. Now, that is an upgrade. I'll give them that. The offense looks pretty good. Jake Ferguson, you have Schoonmaker behind him, Hunter Lupke, the fullback. The offensive line, it looks like Cooper Beebe's going to start at center. I think he's a rookie. And then Tyler Booker, the rookie, is going to start at right guard. He's the guy they drafted to replace what's the guy's name who retired? Zach Martin, the probably Hall of Fame right guard. You have Tyler Smith at left guard, Tyler Guyton left tackle, Terrence Steele right tackle. It's a so offensive line. And then you get to the defense. And with Parsons in there, this is probably a half decent defense. You got Hooker at safety, Diggs. But without Parsons, who else is on this defensive line? Like Dante Fowler Jr., Marshawn Nealon. He was a rookie last year. He did nothing. Oh, Keith, yes.
I'm on the defensive line.
Oh, Cowboy Keith is going to be playing the defensive line for the Cowboys. Breaking news. The front seven is a bunch of no names and rookies and. Jack Sanborn is your middle linebacker. Okay, I guess. Deron Bland, Mr. Pick Six. And then, we didn't talk about the special teams for the Eagles have the best punter in the league. I forgot to mention that. And Jake Elliott's okay. Giants have a good kicker. Their punter's no good. And then the Cowboys, arguably the best special teams in the league. With Aubrey, Anger, and Turpin. Turpin's probably the best kick returner in the league. Aubrey's probably the best kicker in the league. And, Anger's pretty good. So they got the special teams down. The offense looks okay. Offensive line question marks here and there. But without Micah Parsons, that defense looks bad. Maybe this is an over team going in the season. What do you think, Keith?
Depends what Parsons does. Well, I'm sure he's going to sign a contract within a week.
Really?
Yeah, it's the Cowboys. In truth, Jerry Jones was disappointed that no one was talking about the Cowboys, so this got fabricated.
Well, there's always that theory. And it seems the Cowboys, everyone's always talking about the Cowboys, even when they suck. That's why they're America's team. Let's look at the schedule here. The Dallas Cowboys schedule. You look at, the first game, that's a tough one. But Giants, you own their ass. At Chicago, coin flip game. Versus Green Bay. Green Bay's been thorn in their side. At the Jets, road game, but the Jets are on 6 days rest since the Jets. At Carolina, there's some winnable games at Carolina. Then Washington. But Washington's coming off Monday Night Football. You could surprise them there at home. At Denver, that's not a good matchup. Arizona, Monday Night Football, another coin flip. You can win that one. The bye, Vegas. There's some cupcakes here early. Look, cupcakes. Not the worst opponents. Jets, Giants, Carolina. Arizona. Vegas off the bye, but then Philly, KC on Thanksgiving, at Detroit, Minnesota at home. Who knows McCarthy? The Chargers at Washington at Giants. What's their win total? I have it up here, 7.5. Can they get there? Let me see here. Giants, Okay, let's give them both Giants games. They got to win. The Jets, Carolina, they can win those. Chicago, Arizona, they can win those. Huh?
So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have them at 6 without really looking.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win. They got to win one of the or both of the Minnesota Charger games, probably.
I have them at 6.5 if you consider that the Arizona game's a toss-up.
Yeah, I'm a little bit high on Arizona, I think, going into the season. Yeah, I'm not playing them though. Just the Parsons. This team, like there are some, there's a couple of easy games on the schedule, but at the same time, it's the Cowboys. I could see them going to Carolina and Bryce Young having 500 yards because you don't have a secondary. Or you have somewhat of a secondary, but you don't have a pass rush. And he's going to have all the time in the world back there. But you have CeeDee Lamb, you have George Pickens. I also worry. I know we say running backs don't matter too much, but I mean these are the kind of running backs that. Jason thinks 10 wins is possible. They'd have to be Washington once probably then. They could beat the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. I mean, that's not a great spot for Kansas City. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I'm not sold. This running. Normally, I say running back. This running back from like Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, you want to talk about the two running backs I wouldn't want to sign in the offseason. They'd probably be 1 and 2.
They signed both.
Yeah, exactly. Like Denver has a top offensive line in the league, and Javonte Williams didn't run the football very well last year. You know what I mean? Like he felt underwhelming. They had to go to like Tyler Beatty and these other guys. So yeah, I think they should have kept Rico Dowdle. They should pay Micah Parsons, and they should have kept. I don't think that like this team looks worse than the team last year, in my opinion. Yes, you have George Pickens. I guess on the other side of CeeDee Lamb there, but to open up CD. I guess what you're
saying is it's a win total under if they're a worse team than last year and they had 7 wins.
Yeah, but the schedule's easier. Like they didn't play the Jets last year. You know what I mean?
What week does Dax get hurt?
Sorry?
What week does Prescott get hurt?
I don't know. Like who's coming? Like look at these defensive lines. They're not that good. Like look at the first game. The first 4 weeks, the Jets have a good D line, but Denver maybe. At Denver maybe. There's a spot. I could see that.
Yeah, I was actually looking. It's either going to be at Denver or versus Arizona.
Yeah, okay, so maybe. But the thing is, the thing I worry about here, I don't want to bet a win total under with the Cowboys because, like Jason, 10 is possible because look at their first 6 games, they could win 4 of them. When a team gets hot, you know what I mean. And the Cowboys. One thing about the Cowboys, they're great front runners when they, when they love to pile on the points and look good. And then those empty calorie yards. See, I'm going to stay off the Cowboys here. I think there will be spots to bet on them throughout the season. So this is one of those teams that, maybe one week I'm betting on them, maybe the next week I'm betting against them. All right, we have one more team in the the NFC East, before we move to the AFC East, the Washington Commanders. So this is probably the most interesting team in this division. Obviously, you have Jaden Daniels coming off an absolutely ridiculous rookie season, the NFC Championship game, and they basically had a hogwash defense. Zach Ertz is back. He played all 17 games last year, if you can believe that. Deebo Samuel has been added to this offense. The offensive line added Laramie Tunsil. That's a big addition left tackle. Now, he grades well, but this is his third team. People don't usually the Dolphins get rid of him. Houston's not getting rid of him. People don't usually give up left tackles that are good. So, is there something up here? Is there like a character issue? I mean, Dan Quinn, I'm not really worried about a character issue. On the defense, Bobby Wagner is back for his 75th NFL season. Marshawn Lattimore remains on the team after they trade for him late in the season. Javon Kinlaw comes over, I think, for San Francisco. And, it's better. Matt Gay is the place kicker. That's definitely an upgrade. Where last year they had, 5 kickers. And Tress Way is there. He's been there forever. And your returner, and you also get KJ Osborne as like a depth receiver from the he was on the Vikings. That's an interesting sign. I kind of like that. But of course, the big concern is Terry McLaurin. He's holding out. Unlike the Cowboys, I think the Commanders will sign McLaurin. Keith, what's your feel for the Commanders?
Well, they lost De'Ami Brown.
Yes, I did not like that. I thought that was. I mean, what are the Jags paying? Let me see. I'm going to take a look at that, but you continue.
It's a smart Tony Khan move. One of many he always makes.
Yes, the picking up De'Ami Brown. But yeah, I don't know why. 1 year, $10 million. Like, really? You couldn't pay De'Ami Brown $10 million for 1 year? Like, you have a rookie quarterback. Who are you paying?
You got Debo though, so.
Yes. Now he's fat, or allegedly he's like overweight or whatever, but I'm not buying that much of it. I like this team. The old trope is, the NFC East hasn't had a repeat winner in, 10 some years.
What, isn't it more than that?
It might be more than that. I don't see the Cowboys winning. I definitely don't see the Giants winning anything. So if you believe in this kind of trend, you're playing Washington here, and you take a look at their schedule. It is hard. It's not the easiest. Obviously, like Philadelphia, the back-to-back or they have back-to-back division games at the end of the season, or back-to-back division games. One's the Giants, so this is the Giants off the bye, which isn't great. At Green Bay on Thursday night, woof. But you got to win these early ones. You got to win the Giants. You got to win Vegas, Atlanta, the Chargers, Chicago. You got to win those. At Dallas, like your first 7, you're going to be favored, or pick them. Like you might pick them at the Chargers, but you're going to be favored in 5 of them. You got to win those 5. KC, we'll talk about them next week. I'm worried about the Chiefs this year a little bit. So, maybe they can sneak one there. Seattle, you're going to be favored there. Detroit, that's probably a rough spot. Then you go to Madrid to play the Dolphins. Talk about them in a minute, but it's definitely a winnable game. Denver off the bye, that's tough. It gets tough down the stretch. Denver, Minnesota, Giants, Denver, Minnesota, 4 division games, 2 against the Eagles. So you got to start strong, just like Dallas. You got to start strong. Do you think they can do it?
It's not only starting strong. You have to pulverize those teams. You just can't win by 10.
Yeah, that's the problem with Washington. Is that I don't know how much you're going to be pulverizing with that defense. That defense is rough. It's not the best. So yeah, but. That Philly, you get the Giants before. Maybe you can really focus on winning that first Philly game at home. you're coming on us off of Saturday, so it won't be too much of a short week when you go play Dallas on Thursday. You could probably beat them, and hopefully that's enough for the division. But the number here, I think it's plus 225. Having the bottom here, I like Washington to win the division. I think the Eagles are due for some injury regression. And I like this team. I don't like they got rid of De'Ami Brown. And I'm worried about this McLaurin situation a little bit. But I'm a patient man. I'm not going to bet it today. If I do bet anything in the NFC East, I will probably be betting the Eagles win total under and Washington to win the division. What do you think about that, Keith?
Well, that sounds good. Because the Eagles, here's the thing with the Eagles. They've won before. They've won in recent memory. So they don't have to finish first. They can go into wild card because they know how to win in the playoffs.
So I disagree. I think that the Eagles have the best. The Eagles in the playoffs have the best home field edge of anybody in the league. I think it's close. Maybe Minnesota. Okay, maybe it's kind of close, but just like
you mean the $18 bills, the $18 beers, and
yeah, I saw that today too. The eight. Yeah, they're charging $18 a beer in Philadelphia too. Maybe they're going to lose some home field edge here. Maybe Washington can pounce on that, and I feel like you're going to see more fans this year in DC. Because they're expected to be good. So early in the season, I mean, the win total here is, what do I have in it? I put up the win total. It is, how did I not put up the win total? For Washington. Yeah. 9.5. So yeah, I don't want the win total because I feel like things could go bad for Washington. Another concern I have for the Commanders is that they were so good on fourth down last year. Is there some regression come? Like they were like all-time good with that amount of attempts. What do you think about that, Keith?
Well, I mean, coaches have had the summer to analyze the years of tape. So that could be a problem.
Yeah, but you look at their schedule. I mean, I'm not too concerned about the Chiefs maybe, but Green Bay. But outside of that, the coaches are kind of meh defensively, anyways.
So you don't like the win total over at 9.5, right?
I would rather just take plus money and hope they win the division because I think the Eagles win total under is probably better value. Because I feel like Washington has variance, so they could regress significantly. But there's a super, super high upside where this team's in the Super Bowl.
So how many games does it take to win the division?
That's the thing. With this division, it could be 10 if the Eagles, stumble on their toe. But yeah, you're right. Maybe I should just play the win total over if I'm playing the division prop. Yeah. I like the plus money. Maybe I'll wait and see how they look against the Giants week 1. Before, because the Eagles will still be favored. They'll probably beat Dallas. If Dallas wins, then maybe I should have bet it earlier. Anyways, that is the NFC East. Before we move on, I couldn't find the picture, but the schedule going forward, we'll be doing the AFC and NFC West next Thursday, August 14th, with Jeremy. Not with Jeremy. It will either be solo or it will be with Jeremy. Next Monday, the August 18th, we'll be doing the fantasy football preview show for all fantasy football aficionados, anyone competing in league, we'll go through it. That Jeremy will be there for that one for sure. 2 weeks today, the AFC and NFC South will be with CFL Stats Geek Jason. And then the August 29th, the last week before the season starts, we will do the AFC and NFC North. Cowboy Keith will be back. And Johnny the Prop Man, the hot prop man, coming off a hot 2024, will make his return August 29th to Pie Guys Pick'em. Keith, did you want to say something? On your hand up?
Unfortunately, I'm going to be missing the fantasy show. It's the defending champion in my other league. So.
Oh, is that your draft, the 18th?
No, I'm camping.
Yes.
I can't join the show.
Yeah. Who won the other league you were in, though, Keith?
It was rigged.
It was me. All right, move on to the AFC East. Probably the least interesting team we're going to talk about today, the Buffalo Bills. This team is...
Hey, they don't have a kicker right now, right?
Yeah, okay, so there are some interesting stuff. Shakir is banged up a little bit. He's definitely wide receiver 1 on this team. But this is Josh Allen, the team. Look, let's not get this mixed up. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league. He's probably the best player in the league. You could argue it's, Patrick Surtain or somebody on defense or Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean? Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league. This guy has been terrorizing my Dolphins for 7 years now, 6 years now. I've had enough of Josh Allen, but he's so good and he wins me money. So maybe I haven't had enough of Josh Allen because the people didn't respect the Bills last year. They haven't really, in my opinion, respected the Bills for a few years, but the respect has come because their win total is 12. Josh Allen is back. The offensive line is back, led by Deion Dawkins, the all-star left tackle. You have 2 good tight ends. Canadian receiver Josh Palmer will be your wide receiver 3 behind Shakir and Coleman. If Shakir is hurt, that really does hurt this offense because they're kind of thin at wide receiver. Keith mentioned Tyler Bass is hurt. And the Bills might need to sign a new kicker. That's not good. Your thoughts on Shakir and the kicker situation?
Shakir's only slightly banged up. He's 75% ready to go week 1. Is that what I saw?
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. But I just that at that position they're very thin. It's Coleman. Yeah. When you have Palmer as 3, it's he's a nice little player. But I don't want him as a wide receiver 1.
Even if Coleman goes out, that kind of ruins everything, right?
Well, Coleman, I'm not the biggest Coleman guy. Palmer, I do like. On defense, Rousseau's back, Oliver's back. Joey Bosa has been added to this defensive line. That should give them some more pass rush punch. Matt Milano, inside linebacker, he is back. Hopefully he stays healthy. You have Christian Benford and Tre'Davious White making his return to corner. I'm a little concerned about the secondary. They have some banged up safeties. Of course, it's only preseason, so it could be fine. But, Taylor Rapp, Cole Bishop, they're okay. But definitely among the contenders, it's a pretty good defense. When you have an offense with Josh Allen, your defense doesn't have to be amazing. It just has to, but this defense is pretty good. Any thoughts on the defense, Keith?
Well, as long as the offense stays on the field long enough to keep the defense off of it, they should be okay.
Yeah, exactly. They have tons of pass rush depth, good run stop. The secondary could Tre'Davious White's kind of a wild card. They might need somebody there. But you can score 30, 40 points a game. Who cares? And the reason their win total is at 12, Keith, take a look at this cupcake of a schedule. They are favored in every single game this season. Now, if Shakir is out, they might not be favored week 1. So that could change.
We'll be drinking well water for that game. So
yes, we will be drinking well water for week 1, Sunday Night Football, Bills, Ravens. That is a high leverage game week 1 because those are, the 2 highest rated teams in the AFC, and you want home field in the playoffs. But after that Ravens game, look at this. At Jets, Miami at home on Thursday, New Orleans, the Patriots, Atlanta, the bye, Carolina, okay, the Chiefs, but they own the Chiefs in the regular season. At Miami, okay, at Miami with the mini bye, that maybe they lose that one. It gets a little hard, Tampa, at Houston on Thursday, that's not great late in the season. At Pittsburgh, the Bengals, they don't have a defense. Patriots again. Cleveland, who will be starting there? Which of the 4? And then, Philly.
4? I thought it was 5.
Well, who's the 5th? Gabriel Flacco, Sanders, Pickett. 4, right?
I thought they signed someone else.
The Browns. Anyways, and then the Jets. They're favored by 3 or more in every game except the games against Baltimore, KC, and the Eagles. Now, it's a high win total. And I think they could run into trouble in that stretch. Miami, Tampa, Houston, Pittsburgh, Cincy. Like I said, KC, Miami, Tampa, Houston, Pittsburgh, Cincy. You could lose 2 or 3 of those, but let's say you lose to Baltimore week 1. That Eagles game, you're at home, and it's sandwiched between the 2 Washington games. You want to talk about a gift-wrapped win against the Eagles, almost. Not a gift-wrapped win, but it's just a tough spot for the Eagles. They are the chalk to have the most wins this season. Should we be betting the Bills to win the Super Bowl, Keith?
No, because the Chiefs in the playoffs are a thing.
Okay.
You have to go off history.
Yeah, but they haven't gone to Buffalo, and with this schedule, Buffalo is your likely 1 seed, don't you think?
We'll see what happens week 1.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll see what happens week 1. Cowboy Keith with some doubt. Throwing on the Buffalo Bills. I might preseason bet the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I kind of think this is their year. Especially when you take a look at the other 2 teams in this division. And here we are. The comedy show of the offseason. The clowns are out. The Miami Dolphins. Now I'm going to start on the positives. Tua apparently is looking good in training camp. Apparently he's looking really, really fucking good from what I've heard. And he said probably the best words I've ever heard him say. His plan is to not get hurt this year. What were you going to say?
He's healthy. So.
Oh yeah, he's also healthy. Yes. But somehow they're underdogs to the Colts week 1. But I'll save that for week 1. You can tell we're leaning there. Tua's back. Reek's still on the team for now. They picked up Nick Westbrook at Kine. I like that. He was kind of good. He just was on the Titans. Darren Waller, they traded from the Giants. I don't know if he's going to play, but it sounds like he might be ready for week 1. The offensive line, it's not great. Austin Jackson's okay. Patrick Paul, Aaron Brewer's pretty good. Who's the guy who's hurt? Liam Eichenberg is a good like utility lineman. You have a couple of decent guards, but it's not great. The O-line isn't great, but it doesn't matter. Tua gets the ball up quick. You still got good backfield, Achane Wright. And, of course, your new backup quarterback when Tua gets hurt is Mr. Zach Wilson, NFL veteran. Any thoughts on the Dolphins, Keith? The Reek saga? What do you want to make fun of?
I already gave you my Dolphins preview like 3 weeks ago.
Yes, and what was it? Tell the fan.
A relevant team. End of discussion.
Do they win 8 games?
Does Tua get hurt?
See, that's the thing, right? Let's take a look here. We're gonna the defense. Oh, we gotta talk about the defense before we get to the schedule. So the biggest problem is, let me pour a drink first, because when I talk about the Dolphins defense, I need liquor in my because their cornerback one right now is Storm Duck. Their cornerback. Sorry?
Does he drink his water?
I believe so. And their cornerback 2 is Jack Jones, who has he's had a history of legal issues. So, of course, it's going to be great for him to come down to South Beach and play with Tyreek. That's going to solve his legal issues. Of course, I'm being a little bit facetious. Mike Hilton, he's coming in. He's going to be the nickel. Oh, it looks like Kendall Sheffield might beat out Jack Jones for the CB2 spot behind Mr. Storm Duck. Minkah Fitzpatrick, we got him back in the Jalen. God, what's his name? Who's the guy we traded? He was on the Jags, the corner. He's escaping me. Oh,
I can't remember.
Okay, let me go look at the Pittsburgh depth chart. This is gonna whatever. The corner we traded, whose name is escaping me right now, for Minkah Fitzpatrick. It's probably a downgrade, but he wanted to be traded. Now, the strength of the defense is definitely the front 7. Benito Jones, my boy Zach Sealer, Chop Robinson, and Bradley Chubb. And maybe we get Jalen Phillips back at some point from IR. We picked up punter Ryan Stonehouse, and I do like him. I remember him. He was on the Titans before. So the Dolphins signed the former Titans special teams coordinator. This guy had a kick, so had a pump block, returned for a touchdown, followed by a pump block where the punter got hurt. And then so they just fired him. So now he's back, and he decided to bring along the same punter who he got hurt, Mr. Ryan Stonehouse. But he is very good. He's got a good foot. Of course, Jason Sanders is still there. He's a good kicker. And we have Malik Washington, who I kind of like. I think he could be a good depth receiver, or maybe a second receiver if we trade Reek at some point. I think you got it. I don't know. The coach and Reek are taking pot shots at each other. We have no corners. Our all-star corners in Pittsburgh. I can't think of his name right now for some reason. Maybe it's the drink was a little too strong. But at the same time, the offense is going to be good probably if Tua gets the ball out quick, if Tua stays healthy. If the offensive line is any good, I mean, you don't have the distress. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, and what if Reek wants to be there?
The guy's got 10 kids. He's gonna play. He's getting paid. And he's a diva. He's gonna show off. You know what I mean? Why would you not catch a big him? This guy's the big show off. I don't know what's going on. But I think this number's a little bit low. This should probably be they have them rated worse than the Patriots. We'll talk about them in a minute, but I'm not buying it at the moment. Even I know I'm wearing the Dolphins jersey, but I'm just not buying that they're worse than New England here. Okay, so you start with the Colts. Now, for some reason, the Colts are favored. You play New England. Yeah, Buffalo on Thursday. That's a loss. But Jets care. It's a nice start. You could win. The Cleveland, Atlanta, the Chargers. I mean, these aren't world beaters. You could win 7 of your first 8 games. They're going to be, pretty much coin flips. Coin flips or Miami's going to be favored, or it's going to be within pick'em. And Tua's going to be healthy for week 1, probably.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. Then, it gets tough. Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington. They're all at home, though, except for the Washington games in Madrid. The Saints after the bye. I mean, I don't know how they're going to find a way to lose that one. At the Jets again. Pittsburgh. It's a pretty winnable schedule. Keith, talk me off the Dolphins over here.
Concussions.
Yes, I know concussions. So here's the thing. If I want to bet the Dolphins win total over, should I just bet over 9.5 at plus 300?
You might as well.
Because I'm essentially betting Tua to stay healthy. And if Tua stays healthy, they win 10 games. Why not? I mean, this isn't the hard. This is probably the easiest schedule they've had in a few years. Outside of the 2 Buffalo games, and the Baltimore game, they could win the other ones. The Washington game's weird. It's in Madrid. Pittsburgh, okay, we don't play well against Pittsburgh. They don't really they have a 41-year-old quarterback. Cincinnati doesn't have a defense. Tampa's, Tampa's good. So that might be a tricky one, but, I think, the noise around the Dolphins has made their number too low. So I'll probably play some Dolphins, and I'm not committing to it, but I'll probably play some Dolphins over. I mean, if they make the playoffs, they're going to get killed in the first round, but
I'm betting the under, and we'll explain why on the next team.
Okay, well, here we go. So, Keith, I'll let you have the floor here. Tell us why the Patriots are going to be good. I'll pull up their depth chart in the meantime.
Because it's the Patriots, and they're unveiling their Tom Brady statue tonight.
Tonight?
I thought it was tonight.
Fuck, I bet the Commanders. Oh, I have preseason action. I'm on the Lions minus 3.5, the Commanders plus 6.5. But just small, very, very small. For anyone who wants to tail who's watching live.
What I'm worried about is Drake May, second year. There's generally a fall off. Plus, he has Stephon Diggs now. He has a couple of new receivers. He doesn't know if he's going to. Well, they haven't gelled yet.
Yeah, what I worry about for this team is...
Oh, and a new coach.
Yeah, so Vrabel I like. I don't know about McDaniels. I don't know about bringing him back. What are your thoughts on that?
He's Brady's guy.
Yeah.
Well, he was Brady's guy.
This is Drake May. Brady, who has an ownership stake in the Raiders. He's not hiring him. What does that tell you?
That the Raiders don't want to win?
Oh, well, we'll talk about them next week. But, I don't know. I think the Raiders do want to win now based on their offseason moves. Okay. The biggest problem for New England's offensive line. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. Your right tackle is Morgan Moses. How old is that guy? He's just okay. Will Campbell is your left tackle. I don't even know who that is. I probably should. He is your first round pick of this. So you have a rookie starting at left tackle. You have Morgan Moses, who is, how old is Morgan Moses? 34. He's older than me, starting at right tackle.
He's younger than me.
He's younger than you. You have Garrett Bradbury at center. I don't know about this guy. The guards, Cole Strange, I think is okay. Mike Oweno, I think is okay, but I worry about this offense. And to be fair, Drake May had no offensive line that last year, and they're trouble. He was good. Sorry, I was just reading the comments. He had 10 on the Fins. Johnny does not trust me on the Fins here. The schedule's not bad though. Now, the good news for the Patriots is that their entire defense was injured last year. And guess what? Most of them are back. Gonzalez, I don't know if he's going to be back week 1. And Carlton Davis is hurt too. So there's some issues with the cornerback situation right now on the Patriots. They got Milton. You know, they signed 1 million people in the offseason, but they did this a few years ago. Remember when Belichick finally had money, he went and bought a bunch of mid players. Outside of Milton, it kind of feels like that. Like, yes, Milton Williams is going to be very, very good. But, Christian Barmore is okay. Spillane is another guy who's 1 million years old, but he's good. He's healthy. And I do like Vrabel. I'm just not solely this win total is 8.5. You're telling me this team won 4 games last year? 3 games?
We almost had the number 1
4 games. Sorry? Yeah, you would have had the number 1 pick. Yeah. Now, you didn't need a quarterback, though, so whatever. You got the 4th pick. But you could have traded that 1.
Yeah.
And Drake May, I got to see a little more here. And this wide receiver room, Stephon Diggs, okay, he cooks the Dolphins. But was that him cooking the Dolphins or was that Josh Allen cooking the Dolphins? You know what I mean? I like the pickup. But after that, Demario Douglas, I like him. But then, your number 3 wide receivers, Kyle Williams, Matt Collins, Kayshon Boutte, Kendrick Bourne. Oh, remember your draft pick last year, Jalen Polk? He's worse than the CFL Polk, who I think is in the NFL right now, Mekhi Polk. What do you think, Keith? You win 9 games? Oh, let's take a look at the schedule. Here. Here we are.
Week 1 should be a win.
Yeah, Vegas has Mr. Max Crosby, and he might be wrecking Drake May's soul that week. Then you go to Miami, Pittsburgh. Okay, yeah, you could win 3 out of 4 here. I wouldn't be shocked. But so the Patriots, I think, are favored in 7 of their first 9. We look at that stretch from week 6 to week 8. You want to talk about bottom feeders. Saints, Tennessee, Cleveland, 2 of them at home. Okay, you have 2 wins at least there, probably 3, right?
Might even be 4, depending on what Atlanta does.
Yeah, Atlanta. I'm not sure about them yet. I wanted to wait for the preseason. That's why we're doing the South in 2 weeks. It is a pretty easy schedule. It depends if you win the Miami and the Jets games, right? Those are the turners.
You have the Jets, Bengals, Giants.
Yeah, but are the Patriots okay? The Bengals' weakness is their defense, right? But Joe Burrow is going to go down and score. So the Patriots capable of scoring 35, 37 points.
On a good day.
Okay. It's doable. They could win 9 games. I'm just not buying it. I think the Dolphins win total should be 8.5. The Patriots win total should be 7.5. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna bet the under though, because they could get off to a hot start. Look at these home games. So many. It feels like every week feels like they're at home. Do I have this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I might have 1 game should be a road game. I messed up somewhere. So one of these games is a road game, probably the Cleveland or Tennessee. But it just feels like the schedule's too easy to fade them. But I will say that I think Miami and the Jets might be a little bit better than the market expects. I think they're kind of held down by the fact that Buffalo's been so good, and New England's kind of getting the benefit of the doubt because, they've played Buffalo a lot. And, the Johnny thinks the Pats start 4-0. So, Pats fans, good luck. I will probably be betting Carolina week 4 if they start 3-0. Cowboy Keith approves. All right. Our last team. Oh, sorry. Our last team is the team that is the win total of 6.5. The team that's been clowned for many, many years. They haven't made the playoffs since 2009, something like that. Mark Sanchez days. I think it might have been once after that. The New York Football Jets. In my opinion, the biggest get for the Jets was their head coach. The more and more I think about with Aaron Glenn, the more Jalen Ramsey, that's his name. That was the Dolphins cornerback. The more and more I think about Aaron Glenn, the more I think he made chicken cutlets with chicken shit. Like that Lions defense was horrendous. They were injured. And they played pretty well until the Washington game. They did what they could. The Jets' problem last year was they couldn't stop the run on defense, and Aaron Glenn is run stop king. I mean, the Lions had the best run defense in the league. They had the best, or top run defense in the league. They had the best third down defense in the league. They had, and they didn't really have the players that would make you think that they should have, the best third down defense in the league. But I think the Jets do have these players. They do have Sauce Gardner. They do have Quentin Williams. They do have what's the other guy's name on the D line? Quincy Williams. They have good players on this team. They picked up Andre Sisco. He was on the Jags. I'm not too high on him, but he was on a bad team and he got a few interceptions. So I kind of think it was a good pickup for the Jets. Obviously, the new quarterback, Justin Fields. Before we get Fields, Keith, what do you think about the Aaron Glenn and the Jets defense?
Well, I mean, the defense was just one of many things that didn't work for the Jets, right?
Well, the defense was good. I think they quit after like a few weeks there.
So they just didn't want to be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be either when you have that idiot Aaron. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best throwers of football ever. I was, I had a man crush on the guy a few years ago. He was just such a good quarterback. But, his personality in the locker room, I don't think I'd want to deal with that.
He's a problem child.
Yeah, exactly. He's a little bit of a problem. Exactly. You put it perfectly, Keith. Now he's gone. In comes Johnny. The run defense quit. Go watch the Jets' late season footage. That defense quit.
You're saying it could be addition by subtraction?
It could be. And also that not only did he get rid of Rodgers, he got rid of that idiot Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett is out of the building. New York City's having a ball. You know what I mean? Like, that guy never should have been hired in the first place. Another guy who's gone, addition by subtraction, Greg Zuerlein. How many games last year did Greg Zuerlein cost them the game? The Denver game. There was a few games at the beginning of the season where Greg Zuerlein missed kicks. And when you have a strong, a team where your strength is defense, you can't be losing points like that. So Nick Folk, the folk hero, comes in. To kick.
The New York Jets are going to be the poster team for the Kickers Matter movement.
Maybe. I kind of think so. So look at this offense. Obviously, you have Garrett Wilson, very, very good. You have Alan Lazard is still there. They signed Josh Reynolds, former Lion. They're kind of thin at receiver. Tyler Johnson, and then a bunch of guys that don't. Here Ontario Wilson, former Winnipeg Blue Bombers on the depth chart here. Maybe they give him a go. I mean, some of the Malachi Corley and Arians. Some of the guys in front of him on the depth chart. I don't know if they're any good. I would give him a go. Elijah Vera Tucker, very good right guard. Tippmann, Olufashanu, John Simpson, and Armand Membu are it's a solid offensive line. Tucker has injury issues. We know that. He's been had them for years. So, and Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, good 1-2 running back punch. The question is Justin Fields going to bury? I mean, there's basically no pressure on him. He was 4-2 last year as a starter with the Steelers. This is arguably a better defense than the Steelers. The wide receivers on the Steelers didn't wow anybody last year. It was one guy again. I mean, Justin Fields should be comfortable here. The offensive line looks better than it was on the Steelers. I mean, do you think the Jets, Keith, can win 6-7 games?
A lot of things would have to go right.
Yeah. What do you think about the offense?
It's probably better than last year. Like, your quarterback's already more mobile than Rodgers.
Well, Johnny thinks the Jets can win 6-7 games. I do too. In fact, I think I'm going to be betting this win total over. I think between the Dolphins and the Patriots, somebody is going to make a laughing stock of themselves. Somebody is going to fuck up, and the Jets are going to be there to win, 2, maybe both of them. You know what I mean? Like, there is a non-zero chance that, like, both of them suck or, aren't as good as expected. And look at that week 1 game. I mean, you want to talk about a spot where the team is going to really want to win at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's we're kind of giving away the week 1 show, but I mean, I'm just saying there's under no circumstances am I betting the Pittsburgh Steelers in that game. And then you think the Jets win week 1?
They could.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, I feel like kicker's missing, and incompetent coaching, and then the guy who came in, the interim coach for as soon as Saleh left, the defense was even worse, and the interim coach didn't have any idea what he was doing, and we know Nathaniel Hackett's a bum and a half. So I mean, I feel like the subtractions from the Jets, all these bad, first of all, Rodgers and Zerline washed players, right? They were good years ago. And then you have the coaches gone, all 3 of them. Saleh's good, but I mean, Hackett was awful. The interim coach looked like he had no fucking clue what he was doing. I feel like this is where the Jets have value, and I think they're going to win 7 games.
Well, and they played Carolina, so
yes, they play Carolina. That's Carolina's got some good guards, but maybe they get pressure there. Yeah, I mean, they get Tampa off Monday Night Football. They have a London game. That's not great, but the problem is they play Carolina off the London game. Ugh. But they do play Cleveland and the Saints. They play the Patriots and the Dolphins twice. One of those teams is going to slip up. I don't know. It's probably Miami, but I don't know. I have this gut feeling that this is all like if Miami starts winning, it's going to be under, like things are going to be different. But Miami is Monday Night Football. Maybe that's where McDaniel gets fired when the Jets go to Miami and beat them week 4. Dallas, that's not a unwinnable game. There's a lot of winnable games on here. The only one that's Like, what's the only non-winnable game here at Baltimore? Like, they've beaten Buffalo at home before.
Well,
they give Buffalo.
Besides for the Buffalo game.
Well, okay, they play Buffalo week 18.
Week.
Is that game going to matter to the Bills?
Not really.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get Buffalo week 18. Like, you get the Saints. You get, the Browns, Carolina, Miami twice, New England twice, Pittsburgh, week 1. You know what I mean?
That Jacksonville game's also winnable.
Yeah, the Jacksonville game. Atlanta at home. Cincinnati's not exactly they can score on Cincinnati. Cincinnati's got a bad offensive line. The Jets have a pretty good D line. Yeah, I'm betting the Jets win total. This is the only one I came in. I was like, I looked at the schedule. I looked at what went wrong last season. A lot of that is like easily. It's not that they had bad players. Okay, they had 1 or 2, but the kicker is like an independent player. You know what I mean? Like he's not like you can just switch the kicker and the rest of the team's the same. You know what I mean? So yeah, I will be betting the Jets here. All right, we've gone on for an hour and 20. I'm going to remove the schedule here. Keith, any last words on the AFC East, the NFC East?
Nope.
Preseason? No, nothing? All right. Well, I'll leave you with this. We'll be doing these. These are more information. We're going to find spots. Like I said, the Jets week 1. Who was it? The sandwich spot for the Cowboys. There's definitely spots here where we're identifying, hey, this is this team might steal one here. And we're looking at these futures, and I will definitely. I know the best bet, I guess by default, is the Jets over 6. In terms of the AFC NFC East preview show, use the information as you like. I'll put the odds back up, but I really think that this, like I said, between New England and Miami, someone's going to screw the pooch here. So for the AFC East, I like the Jets win total over. The Bills is too high. They're favored in everything, but they're good. The Dolphins and Patriots, who knows? I might be on, like I said, I might be on the Miami over 9.5, just because if Tua stays healthy, high upside. And then for the NFC East, we were the Eagles under, and maybe, just maybe, Washington to win the division. Thanks to Kowboy Keith. Thanks to everybody who's watching. Thanks to Bob Dice. And we'll see you next week, August 14th, where I'll break down the NFC and AFC Wests as we continue our preseason previews.
I just want to point out that I already have the Pittsburgh Steelers with their regular 9-8 record.
Kowboy Keith, you're spoiling. You're on the North Show.
Oh, I am.
Oh, well, a preview of the North Show. Have a good day, everyone. Goodbye.